Yo, what's up? What's up? I know it's been a minute. Today is September 29th, Friday. Um, it's about to be 5 p.m. I'm 21 years old currently, and I don't know. It's been a minute. I haven't really felt the need to do this, but I know it's kind of good to excuse me. It's kind of good to get shit out my chest or whatever. And I have this pending thought, this reoccurring thought, recently too. I think my dad talked to me. Like, I know it sounds like weird as fuck, but I think my dad talked to me like from the grave type shit. And no, I wasn't like on any type of drugs or whatever. I was completely sober. I had this random thought of like what my dad would have thought, in his last days of living. Like, all of his regrets. That was the main thing. Like, I wonder what he regretted in life. Like, the shit that he couldn't do. Like, what were his regrets? Like, the shit that I'll ask him, like, when I get up there with him, is like, what is his regrets? Like, that was, like, my thought. And I was listening to this audiobook, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in this one segment, he paraphrases this one like lesson from this book called like A Father's Forgiveness or some shit, or A Father's Thought or something about father. And in the paraphrase, he is in the dad character. He's talking as the dad character, talking to his son. His son is like a little, like 6, 5, 7 years old, something like that, just a small child. And him as a father, he kind of like was on his ass on certain things, like don't treat your clothes this way, like don't get them dirtied up. If you paid for your clothes with your own money, you would like treat them better. But his son reoccurrentness or like relentlessness or just like effort to still love him. Like at the end of the day, like the dad was scolding, like don't do this, don't do that. But at the end of the day, the son would still like hug him. I love you, Dad. Thank you, da da da. And be grateful. And throughout like that son's coming back, like him just keep on coming back and like showing him love, it kind of made the father sad and somewhat regretful of like how harsh he's been. And he kind of realized that like, okay, like I'm not letting you be a kid, and I'm letting you be the version of how I want myself to be, but I should let you be a kid. And throughout like that example or throughout that expression of regret of like this father telling his son like, okay, like I shouldn't be as harsh, really really fucked me up, because not only did I just ask that question literally 10 minutes before I listened to that part of the book, but it just brought me back to an exact memory of when my dad brought me like a DSi or some shit, and I was playing it, and I kept on like opening and closing it because I liked how like the sound was like and he was like, boy, stop treating your games like that. Like, I bought that shit with my own money. Treat it with better care or some shit like that. Like, he had that tone to him when I was, like, playing with my game like that. And I was like, damn. And, like, that was another one of, like, my prime memories with my dad when I was, like, so little. So it's just crazy how, like, I asked that question, like, out loud and in my brain, and then, like, I literally get that answer right back. Like, it felt like my dad's energy was literally with me just then. And, like, he talked to me through that audiobook. And that shit was just crazy to me. And the more that I'm thinking about it, and the more I'm, like, kind of thinking about my own perspective on life and shit, I re-picked up the attitude of life is too short not to do all the things that, I want to do. But, him dying while having me as a son at such a young age, like fucking 9 years old, it's kind of more backing. It's kind of more proof into the way I think of life, is that life is too short. Literally, he couldn't do all the shit that he was going to do in life. So I don't want to necessarily live for him, but kind of having him constantly on the back of my mind, just like, life is too short, and I want to be able to do the things that he couldn't do. My dad. So, yeah, I think not only a little bit am I living for my dad, but I'm living for myself as well. And I don't want to put all the focus on living for my dad, because my dad was his own person. He's made his own choices, careers, life passes and shit. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want me to live for him here as I'm living. But if you're listening, Dad, I'm living for myself, and your death is a constant reminder that time isn't infinite, and I don't have all the time in the world. So, even I don't know. I can't go nowhere. So even while you were here, I was too young to even like learn shit from you a lot. But so while you were here living, I couldn't. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Even though your death is kind of like blocked learning things from you and from your physical being, till this day, I'm still learning a lot from you, even in your death. So, fuck. I just want you to. Fuck. I just want you to know, Dad, that every single day, I'm learning something from you. You're still an important figure in my life. And I wouldn't be me without you. Even if you're not here physically with me, I still learn a lot from you to this day. And I hope you know that. I really want you to know that. I love you so much. I don't know. Every time I think about you, it just makes me appreciate life more. It really does. It really does. Every time I think about you, it makes me appreciate life more. And every time I think about you, it makes me appreciate life more. And it is just a constant reminder that I need to appreciate life, like every second of it, because you really never know. You never know. Nobody knows. You don't know when your time is. You don't. So you gotta appreciate every second of it. It's like, just make the most out of it. Make the most out of it. I'm doing what you couldn't do. As of right now, is make the most out of right now. As of the year 2023, I'm doing what you can't do. Is make the most out of the current time in my physical being. I'm making the most out of it. I'm making the most out of it. I am. Oh, and I know you are doing everything that you can in the background, things of the shit that I can't physically see. I know that. You got that covered, so I'm not tripping about it, but just your death is a constant reminder that I need to appreciate life and take advantage of literally every second of that shit. I really do. I really do. I really love you. I really love you, Dad. Peace. Woo, that was a shit show, wasn't it? I'm debating. I'm really debating if I am going to post what you just saw. This is kind of like the post aftermath of like rewatching the video, kind of taking a breather and like, getting back to like my senses and shit. Something in my gut, like in my physical being right now, is telling me to post it because I made my life goal recently to make an impact on this world, and my face being a part of that. Not necessarily as like a no, I'm lying. It's definitely a very just a fucking word. It's like selfish. It's a selfish reason. I want my face to be a part of my art, my whatever I put out. Selfish. I can be faceless if I want to, but I'm not. But I also want to make an impact. And with the impact, I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's with music or whatever, but I feel like with people who are going through a loss, going through a death, whatever might feel lost. And with my dad and other family members, I felt lost for a while. I'm like, why did you go at this time? And that's not really for me to answer. That's some otherworldly shit that them motherfuckers got the answer for. I'm in the planet Earth and I can't really answer that, so I shouldn't even think about it, and you shouldn't either. For people who are going through a death, a loss, a ending of a relationship, a friendship, whatever you're going through that makes you just not want to either be here no more, depressed as hell, or just like down in the dumps and just really fucks with you. Just know that on one of the things that you can kind of put into action from that loss is that you have to appreciate here and now. Do what your friends, do what your family, do what they couldn't do because they're dead. Appreciate life. Do everything with no regrets. Because if you were to ask your past loved one, what do you regret? I'm pretty sure their main answers would probably be living. And that sounds so cliche, but it's so true. Probably regretting not doing things that they probably had plans for, but they were just holding it off in the back burner. I have things that I've had plans for, but I've been holding it off for a minute. But this conversation with y'all and him is just helping me realize that there's literally no time for that. Even though I feel like I have time because of my age, because of this and that, I can die tomorrow. That's the cold truth. We can all die tomorrow. Any of us watching this can die tomorrow. But as long as I know that before my death, I tried everything that I could have tried, or I tried everything at my fullest effort, my fullest capacity, I'm not gonna trip about it too much. I mean, I'm gonna be pissed off that I'm dead. Like, what the fuck? Why am I dead? But if I didn't die on no lazy shit, on like just holding shit off in the back burner, then I don't mind it. So from each day forward, I don't know if it's gonna be an everyday thing because I'm not a fucking robot. We're all human. We all have off days. Don't beat yourself too much about it. But from each day forward, my wants, my goals, my dreams, I'm no more. I'm not holding it off in the back burner. Because if my dad had the option to, he wouldn't. If he had the option to go to life again with the same brain, with the same physical being, if he had a second life, he would have done that shit. I don't have a second life. None of us do. So, yeah, realize that time isn't here to waste. Time is a gift, a virtue, and whoever this reaches, I hope this kind of makes you grounded in a sense. You know, I'm not hoping that you're going to be less sad or more happy. Death is fucking death. That's just depressing as hell. So definitely don't feel forced to go. Don't feel forced to change your emotions for other people. If people are telling you like, oh, you're too sad all the time, or if you're telling yourself like, oh, I shouldn't be sad. If you have to tell yourself something that you're naturally doing, then that's not okay. Let your natural emotions flow. Live, laugh, love, whatever. Just let your natural self be, and then when it's time to heal, when it's time to be happy, you'll be happy again. But don't force it. Don't force anything. Let yourself live. This is Anthony, and if I post this, I post this. Okay, all right.